second. She slips it in just a... Still some time. Montoya, plenty of room. Yes! Wide open long ball for Jason Montoya. Water gets the screen. Ball fake, but rejected. Oh, rejects it. Quickly, or if they hold for the final. Wyckoff, yes, count the basket. A chance at a three-point play for Wyckoff, and a free throw is coming up.
Catch and shoot.
Hill, give it to the hot hand. Why not?
We're happy for the boys, and oh boy.
Coach.
I guess they knew about it.
One more.
Potentially 4, I doubt 5, right? I just don't see a scenario where they get all 5 in, especially with Utah State losing to San Jose State. Look, right now, and I told you this yesterday, guaranteed to buy the Mountain West Conference tournament. The Lobos are tied with San Jose State. They will go to San Jose on Saturday. If they lose, let's say they win tonight and lose that game, there's a real chance they got to play in the play-in game. And that's an issue for a team that's trying to get to the NCAA tournament. So that's why I think tonight's a must-win. I do think they bounce back and win tonight. Jalen House is still questionable. Richard talked about Jalen House yesterday, your point guard, and I got a lot on Jalen House. I got a lot of thoughts, and I read a little bit yesterday, and I think you're seeing more than I do, but that doesn't mean just because I don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. It's because I don't hear something that isn't there. You really feel Lobo fan has turned on Jalen House?
I think it's closer to 50-50. I really do, because there's people that you can be frustrated with his style, and that's understandable, but he is so important to this team, but people have just soured on him. And I think they struggle. Like it was the Nevada game, the last Nevada game. Like it was just a bad shooting night. Like he's a shooter.
And
he had a bad shooting night, but then people say that selfish basketball. He takes too many shots, and he's kind of in a no-win position right now.
Well, I think if you don't realize how important, how valuable Jalen House is to your team, I don't know what more evidence you need than last Friday night. Jalen House didn't play, and you got run out of the gym by Air Force. And I got it. You lost by 12 points. If any of you watched that game, you know it wasn't a 12-point game. You're down by 20 points most of the night, most of the second half. You scored some points late and closed it to 12. Feel better about yourself? Like with all due respect, if you don't have to like Jalen House's style. If you don't like the verbose, brash energy that he brings, okay. But I don't know how you deny what he's brought to the table this year and what he's brought to your team and what he's brought to this program over the last 2 years. I don't think he's the best player, JJ, and I know I've said this 1,000 times, and I'll say it more. I don't think he's the best player on the team. I think that's Jamal Mashburn. But he's the most dynamic player you've seen around here. And I keep going back to who? Who's the last one that was that dynamic? What do I mean by dynamic? Quick, accelerating, get to the rim, can shoot, can play defense, it makes things happen on both sides of the ball. By the way, he rebounds as a 6-foot guard. He makes things happen. Is he erratic? Yeah, and you take the good with the bad, and I know that's frustrating. But he has won you way more games than you might think he lost you. And I can't give you a game that I think he lost you. If you're going to blame the Nevada game, the second Nevada game, the one the ball rolled off the rim on him, go take a look at everybody else's shooting percentage in that game. Where was everybody else? Yeah, he takes some shots. To your point, he is a shooting point guard. He is a scorer. You rely on him to score. But he creates. I just don't know what you guys think you're going to get. Dent should be starting all the time. Okay, that happened the other night. Donovan Dent's going to be terrific. I think Donovan Dent already is terrific. But if
Donovan Dent's good,
yeah,
and he's better when he's on the floor with House and Mashburn.
He's not better than House right now. I mean, am I saying something that's out of school here? No. So I don't know where you are. I'm listening to you. If you want to get in today, 505-246-0610. JJ, I know you kind of, wouldn't you rather hear it firsthand, have a conversation with someone instead of reading tweets?
Yeah.
No, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think house is the problem, la problema está la casa, I'd love to hear it. I guess es la casa, not está. Mi español es muy malo, Jerry. Es muy
Necesito
malo.
practicar también.
Más practicar, sí. I don't know where you are, so I think it's important to get him back today. But again, if you're planning on an at-large, I think tonight's a must-win.
It is. You've lost. You're dealing with the effect of the Air Force game and seeing all the movement from that. There's opportunities to feel better about yourself heading to Las Vegas, but you can also quickly be on the last four in to the first four out to the next four out, and then my goodness, how quickly things have changed. Your house is giant question mark, because when you hear Richard Pitino yesterday still say he has pain in his hamstring, doesn't lead me to believe that he's playing basketball against Wyoming. And if you're the Lobos, these are two games that you still feel like you should win without Jalen House. Air Force and then Wyoming, and be able to rest him for a little bit. So your starting point guard is not dealing day in and day out with a hamstring injury. You just try to get as much rest as possible for the big games down the stretch for the Mountain West tournament. And then it's because he called him out on the effort. We all saw that firsthand. He's actually said it's been since Boise State. He feels the team hasn't at least given them effort. Because if you watch the Lobos this season, you know that's not their calling. Pressure on opponents, turn them over, outscore teams. I got to dig a little deeper and get through this moment without Jalen House.
Do you think that was one of the reasons? I mean, if it was a tournament game, and I don't know this. I have no idea. Maybe House would have gone, but it was Air Force. It was on the road. We should be able to get through this. We should be able to get through Wyoming at home without House.
Yes.
And now you have no room for. We told you going into the game Friday, you're out of Mulligans, and you get run out of the building there. I run out of the building. Is it? I mean, I don't know if that's fair. It kind of is, isn't it?
They got ran out the built.
Yeah.
You're down by 20 points.
Yeah.
They had defense possessions where they were just all looking at each other, pointing like, "Oh, I thought you had that guy.
Yeah.
I was supposed to guard him." Okay.
Yeah. So you're out of Mulligan. So I mean, is it more desperate to play him tonight? Do you rush him back, or is this a game? And look, Wyoming, for whatever they don't have, for whatever, and it feels like Maldonado gets hurt every game that he's in, right? And he comes back, and they're without EK, but they play hard, man. It feels like every game I watch, they're in for a while, if not till the end. So this is a big one. But if you're, I'm kind of, where are you on House? Because I don't understand, and I know JJ's told me a lot of you have just flipped on him, and you're the other way, and you're over it, and you think somehow he's not very good. I'm telling you, and Richard tells you, and Richard knows way more than I do. He's one of the best players in this league. And when you got pundits all over America telling you it's one of the best backcourts in America, one of the best backcourts in the West, and you say I see it every day and I know better, I'm going to argue with you that if you think he's the problem, if you don't think he's a good player, and I know this is sacrilege to tell you, I'm not sure how much you know basketball. Yeah, he makes mistakes. He's erratic at times. He's way more valuable than he is a liability. He does way more positive than he does negative. And if you're not convinced after the other day, I don't get it. Text line 505-246-0610. It says, you, Jeffy, defend those inside juggernauts, Forsling and Sek, every chance you get. What exactly are you seeing in those two guys that the rest of us are missing? Do I defend them? I think that they're guys who they're trying to develop. Now, I would have liked to see more development this year, wouldn't you? What do I see that I'm missing? I saw a guy that I saw some progress last year. I need to see more. No, if you're concerned about depth up front, I think at this point that's fair. Right?
And there's also going to be guys on your team that are just that role players for 4 years.
Yeah, that happens.
And the one thing with Sebastian Forsling, and that's probably the guy that our individual guy, man, woman, whatever it may be,
The texter.
that calls out Sebastian all the time and says he's not worthy of Division I scholarship. Not every person on the bench is going to develop into a starter. And Forsling, if you see him around this team, if you see him around the program, that's a guy you want on your roster. Is it frustrating because he's big and it feels like he's missing an edge at times? Yeah. But there's also a value to having good people on your roster because you're not going to have 13 scholarship players that are all going to be starter level.
Because then you're going to complain, where's all the playing time coming from, right? All right, I want to get into it. Louisville basketball is it's a big one today. It's Wyoming at home. Jeff, they're the last place team in the league. Yeah, no, I got it. And that's why it's a must-win. 505-246-0610 on Valentine's Day. All right, so here I got an idea for you. If you're still on the Valentine's Day fence, what am I going to do? On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Go to otsdetailing.com and get a service for your sweetheart. What does On the Spot Automotive Detailing do? They detail your vehicle. They come to you wherever it's convenient, whenever it's convenient. You don't take it to them. If you're working or if your Valentine is working all the time, they will go in the parking lot and detail your vehicle. Inside, outside, around the rims, under the hood, under the seats. Like this is what the car lots do. When they're done, the vehicle is going to look, it's going to feel, it's going to smell like it's brand spanking new, and they do it at your convenience. Odds are you're going to have that vehicle for a while. Take care of it with On the Spot Automotive Detailing. You can ask them about ceramic coating. They apply this by hand. Best way to protect your paint for years, and they offer a lifetime warranty on it. Our military receive a 10% discount at On the Spot Automotive Detailing. It is Valentine's Day. You still have time. You can go on there. You can print it out. You can present it to her in that beautiful Hallmark card that you're giving it to her today, and she's going to be stoked. Schedule online, otsdetailing.com, otsdetailing.com, or call On the Spot Automotive Detailing at 505-859-2859. That's 505-859-2859.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the Frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact.
The Lobos, it was kind of fun for a while. And then they lose a few, and Pacino can't coach, and House is horrible, and the Bigs are the big stick. Look, to the texture, and I know you've hit me on this before, and I don't defend. I mean, what does it say? You defend those inside juggernauts. What do you want me to say? I don't think they're great. I don't think anybody thinks they're great. I think they're bodies who are developing, and I think I told you this on the way to go get coffee just now. We just went down to Starbucks or something. We came back.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it was a quick run. Sorry, Jerry, dude. I know you like the coffee here, and so
Double latte.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll make a run in the next break. They remind me of Daniel Ferris as a sophomore. You can say no. Daniel Ferris, in fact, I'll tell you, they're beyond Daniel Ferris as a sophomore. Would you say they're better than he was as a sophomore? They're both sophomores, right?
They are.
They remind me of guys who, big bodies who they're trying to develop. Cameron Bearsa wasn't very good as a sophomore. Remember, he wasn't very good, and he turned into an NBA. And I'm not telling you these guys are going to be NBA first rounders or second rounders. Hardly what I'm saying. But that's what you got right now. And if you think they're the reason, okay, blame it on them. This is still a pretty good basketball team, boys and girls. This is still a pretty good team. You got something that still can be really exciting sitting in front of you. But they got to win tonight. Don't you think?
Absolutely. They need to respond, especially inside. Maurice Udeze, Josiah Alec need to have good games against a Wyoming team that's been devastated by injuries and departures. Like the 3 transfers that they brought in this offseason, we saw how good Ethan Anderson was at spurts. He's gone. They're not on the team anymore. We know Graham Ike's been out the entire season. They've lost their leading scorer, Noah Reynolds, multiple times throughout the year. And, yeah, Jalen House is the question mark, but you should be able to beat Wyoming without Jalen House. Yeah. But it comes down to what effort are you going to put out there?
And hopefully you have House, and you might not. And again, if one of those, I kind of want your feelings on House. I'm a little bit, I don't know, stunned might be too much, but I'm really surprised that there's so many of you theoretically. And again, I wonder what the percentage is, because you see stuff on social media, and I do believe it tends to be the vocal minority on social media. I do believe the majority of Lobo fan is still on Jalen House's side, has his back. Look, if it comes down to this guy's got an opportunity to use a COVID year or not, the advantageous part to your program, this is like the easiest question to answer, would you rather have Jalen back for another year or not? The answer is 100% hell yes. And I don't know if Jalen's feeling it. Did you tell me you had heard that he had been hearing some stuff and that there was some talk that maybe that's why he was sitting out or something? Is there that kind of theory?
So this
hit me with this.
It's to me. It's what you talk about, Jeff.
Yeah.
If you want the limelight, then you got to take the criticism. But I do think that with Jalen House, it's gone past the criticism of his game to the criticism of him as a person.
Nobody knows this kid.
And thus, his style of play is bad, and it's hurting this. He's selfish. He's hurting that. Like, it's one thing if you play a bad game, if you don't feel Jalen House is a defensive player of the year, you can have those conversations. Sure. But I think just some people with guards in this program, if they are flashy, don't know how to handle it.
So are you going back to Cullen? Is that kind of what you're saying here?
Absolutely.
All right.
And then that was, ended up being, of course, so much more with his dad. But there's an element of, if you're a guard for the Lobos, I think some people are just locked in, like they have, this is the way you should play, look, and act.
So there's a fine line here, right? And I'm not going to tell anybody how to be a fan. I'm not. Never will. But I can certainly have my opinions. And if your way of being a fan is trying to run this guy out of here, I think you're doing a disservice to the program you claim you love. This young man, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know him, JJ. I'm not. I've spent a few minutes with him on a couple of road trips when I did games, when I filled in for Rob over the last 2 years. Okay? And I really like him. Actually, really like him. So if that's the issue, I think it's flashy. There's some people who just don't like a guy who's flashy, who talks a little bit, right? The personalities between him and Mashburn are so different. Jamal's all business, right? Jamal is super confident. I don't know if he's cocky or not in regards to his play, but he's super confident, but he lets his play do the talking. And Jalen is super confident, and he talks, right? And there's some of you who just don't like that. And again, I'm going to tell you, this kid has delivered and delivered and delivered time after time since he's been here. And I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear what your issue is with it. At 505-246-0610, you can send emails. Jeff at sportsanimallabq.com, JJ at sportsanimallabq.com. JJ's Twitter is open. It's _JJ Buck. And you can send it at the Facebook page, the OD and the AM. I'd love to hear it. When we return, New Mexico State's canceling of the season had its effect on the WAC. What did the Western Athletic Conference decide to do? We've got to get into that. And what's happening down at New Mexico State. We'll get you the latest because the regents are going to go and meet today, so we got to get into that as well. As we hit Valentine's Day, fellas, how you feeling? Like, are you feeling good? Tired? Sluggish? Just too often, huh? I got some help for you. New Mail is where you can get some help. And they've been helping men all over the country and for years deal with things like fatigue and depression and weight gain, even erectile dysfunction. They're going to help you feel better if you give them a call. And for men and ladies who are dealing with hair loss, New Mail will take care of you as well. The number is 505-652-1688. 505-652-1688. They're online at newmail, NUMALE.com. So the hair restoration options are state-of-the-art. There's nothing better than this. Their professionals walk you through the options. You'll choose what's best for you. Platelet-rich plasma hair therapy. It uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicle. It stops hair loss, you regrow hair. They have an FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser. It's proven to regrow hair. NeoGraft hair transplants, which produce natural-looking results in less than a week, and there's no linear scarring. Men, ladies, give New Mail a call, 505-652-1688. Area code 505-652-1688 or online at newmail.com.
This report is...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Polls in the NCAA poll, the college basketball polls came up. Mountain West, San Diego State 21, moved up from 25. Nevada, 5 spots out. They got 36 points. Boise State also receiving points. Those are the others that were receiving points
in the Mountain West. But and then women's UNLV
for the first time since what 2000 or 1994? Did I read? UNLV's women are in the NCAA pool.
Yeah,
you've been telling me how good they are. They're pretty good, huh?
They're a very good basketball team.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
They've won 14 games in a row.
Well, and they're dominating. They're dominating. All right, you want to talk about Jalen House? Let's go. Stan, good morning to you. How are you?
How you doing, Mr. Simbieta?
Good, Stan. How are you?
Good. Fine morning this morning. House is definitely the star of the team. There's no question about it. He reminds me of a player that was kind of flamboyant and kind of the way he was, and now it's Kendall Williams. And he would deliver. And House is the same thing. He delivers. He delivers wins, and he's clutch when they need him. And Kendall was the same way. Sometimes Kendall would dribble into the paint and say, what WTF moment.
Right. No, there was erratic moments with Kendall Williams, yeah.
Yeah, but I remember watching, I filled my bucket list and went to watch him in Moby Arena when he had that 47-point game, or I don't know, million-point game.
46, I think, yeah.
And, oh, my gosh. House is not only capable of just as well, but I think he's even better than, or just as good as Kendall, and love him to death. Rest him. He's a star. If we sneak into the double A's, you're going to need him. Love House. I'm drinking the House Kool-Aid, baby.
Yeah, as you should. Thank you, Stan. I appreciate you. So I would argue that, and look, House had, 42 at Clune last year, so he's capable of that. It's funny, when we have this conversation, I say he's the most dynamic player since, and I go back to Kendall and I go past him because I think he's more dynamic than Kendall. I actually think he's a better player than Kendall Williams was. And I know that's certainly up for debate, right? I think it's certainly up for debate. Kendall Williams was terrific, and he did it here for 4 years. And he became a fan favorite, and he still is. A Mobile fan loved Kendall Williams because they won. They went to the NCAA tournament. He was a big part of that. He came over here. He was an anchor of those Steve Alford teams. House is in that same mold, flamboyant, probably more flamboyant. I would argue maybe a little bit better. I think he's faster. I think he does more things defensively. But I mean, again, I'm with you in that mode. I think, to me, if you're going to ask me who's the star of this team, it's Mashburn. Who's the face? It's your backcourt.
And I think that's why this backcourt does work so well, is their styles play off each other. You know, House is more boisterous, energy guy, and Mash kind of puts his head down and goes to work, and you need both those because they balance each other out. They ignite this team, and it's evident when this team is playing its best basketball, that backcourt duo with both their styles, the way they play, is feeding into everyone.
Yeah. Carl says House doesn't equal Cullen. He said Liberal fans didn't like Cullen because he was daddy's kid, daddy's boy, it says, and he just wasn't that good. He should have been starting. It's totally different than the issues with House. Okay. I don't think you're wrong. Bourne says resting House. Jeff, if you're telling me you're an NCAA team, you should still be able to beat a depleted Pokes at home, even if House load manages a tender hammy, right? I think yes. Like to me, should you be able to beat this Wyoming team without House?
Yes.
I agree with that. But I thought you should have been able to beat Air Force without House too. And you got run out of the building. So, I mean, this is a tough one. If he's kind of ready to go, but man, could he use 3 more days and get ready for San Jose?
If he's kind of ready to go, you can't play him.
You can't, right? No. Right? If it's kind of ready, you can't because you need him the rest of the way. And you say, all right, Donovan, go. And
this is a team that it's a lot different than Air Force, because Air Force, even when you look at, you said you should win that game, they weren't going in there without anyone available.
No, they were healthy.
Guys going off. Now you're looking at this Wyoming team, throwing like 7 dudes out there, if that. Bunch of guys in different positions.
Yeah, no, they were certainly healthy. All right. New Mexico State's Board of Regents is going to meet, I guess, twice today. So the WAC, the league in which New Mexico State has played for the last bunch of years, who knew that their last game has already been played, right? As a member of the WAC, came out yesterday and decided that all the games that were scheduled for New Mexico State, their opponents will get a forfeit victory. And I mean, I figured that's how that had to go, right? I didn't see another way for that to go as far as taking care of what they had to do in as far as competitive stuff. Keep in mind, New Mexico State was in last place in that league. 12 teams go to the tournament out of the 13, and New Mexico State was in the position to be the one team that didn't make the conference tournament before they shut it down, right? So I think that's where that was going to go. In regards to what happens next, I got to believe we get a little bit of movement on this today, don't we? There's an 8 a.m. Regents meeting to discuss what Jeff Grammer in the paper is saying today is the acquisition of real property. So that may involve attorney-client privilege information. And then this evening at 5 o'clock, the Regents are scheduled to meet for a discussion of limited personnel matters concerning individual NMSU employees and personally identifiable information about individual NMSU students. That's the meeting notices. That's the agendas that were put out. So are we going to be surprised if we hear a little bit of something on the coaching staff today?
Well, no, because you have a Regents meeting, and this is just making sure you have everything in a row to say that you're not paying that head coach anymore on his remaining salary, that you're firing him with cause. So it's a little different. Like, Texas can just go out there and be like, Chris Beard, you're done. Peace out. We'll figure this out.
Because if they get sued, they're going to get sued, right?
Yeah, Texas is like, we can handle this. Mexico State, I know there's been a lot of people saying, haven't they announced this yet? Why is he still on paid administrative leave? You get why they might need to just be getting things lined up to make sure they got everything correct.
So I've heard the decisions have been made, and they're kind of going through to what you're saying, getting through how they're going to do this. It feels pretty obvious, and we've all looked at the contract. It's been everywhere. It feels pretty obvious that there's cause, doesn't there?
Yes.
I mean, if you read the contract, it feels pretty obvious that there's cause, and you could pick out of a number of clauses. I think Greg's going to say, "I didn't know what was going on. How could I know what was going on? I wasn't complicit. This I didn't know." Now, it may be cheaper to settle, right? So if he sues and you go into this big long thing and does it drag out, it might be cheaper to settle, and I know it's going to piss a lot of people off.
That the termination by mutual agreement.
Maybe.
Because I'm in Mexico State, I'm not paying this dude a cent after this.
Well, okay, so what happens if he says, all right, then I'm suing you, then we're going to court?
Go to court.
Do you want to,
at some point in time, how many times does a head coach in the basketball team say, I don't know these guys.
No, I
didn't know what was going on.
What's it going to cost you to litigate it? And I don't know the answer to that. I really don't. Did you say, here's $300,000, go away? Here's when your salary and scram?
Because wouldn't it be, if you fired with cause, it's at that point,
Goodbye.
That's a cutoff.
Yeah, clean out your
you've got what
your
you've
office
got
and go.
Then,
yeah, I think he'd have to get the rest of this year, this season. But whatever. But I just don't know, as cut and dry as it seems that it should be, I just don't know that it's going to be that cut and dry. 505-246-0610. Super Bowl's over. We got to talk about that. The what now? The parade. Patrick's going to Disneyland. Now he wants Disney to make a few more parks so he can go on tour, because when he keeps winning these things, we got a lot of Super Bowl stuff to still get through. Lobos go tonight. Aggies don't go at all. We got a lot to talk about at 505-246-0610. Hey, business owners, your computers and network secure? You sure about that? Like, you need to be really sure about that. Call ABQ IT. You got to know your system is protected from hackers and cybercrime, and if there's a gap in your cybersecurity, it can do major damage to your business, and that threat is real. ABQ IT provides a thorough look at your computer. The security, everything around it, you'll find out where you're at risk. ABQ IT created a business model designed to protect you from malicious threats, to keep your computers up to date, and they do it all at one affordable cost. And listen, you need to know this. By June 9th, many of you are going to have to ensure the personal data of your customers is protected. It's the FTC Safeguards rule, and your business may face penalties if you're not compliant by that deadline. With ABQ IT, you can be prepared. There's no hourly rate or labor billing. There's no hidden fees. Your rate will be predictable each month. It will not change. You got to protect your business. Flat out not worth the risk, thinking bad things won't happen to you. Trust the experts in cybersecurity and compliance. Visit abq-it.com. That's abq-it.com.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell is sorry for going too far with it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers, they maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Who's going to spend some time with us every Monday through Friday, 7 to 10 a.m. We appreciate you and your comments and your contributions. Jerry's in for Amory. Jerry, you know we got regular listeners in California, both in Inland Empire and San Diego. We got regular listeners in Texas and all over here. We got one in Budapest right now.
Budapest.
Yeah, John just sent me a note that says, "Hey, Jeff, I'm here in Budapest until June." Access is limited to content from the U.S., but I'm able to listen live to KNML, and your morning show keeps me entertained here in the afternoon. We're 8 hours ahead. Thank you to JJ and A-Marie. I'll throw Jerry in there, too, for giving me a little slice of home until I return. Now, if I could just find a little green chili. It's from JB.
Dobro dan.
Well,
That's
I don't know
good
what that
morning.
means.
And
is that what that means?
yeah,
In
I don't.
Budapestian?
I'm a little rusty on my Romanian,
Yeah,
so
yeah. All right. I think so. How about that? So now we're international. JJ, you okay with that?
That sounds pretty good.
Text line 505-246-0610 says, Jeff, people always say the liberal fan base, our fan base, it says, is so smart and loyal. But this house thing shows me how unintelligent some liberal fans are. Signed Murph Dog. Murph Dog actually signed a text. How about that? I don't want to paint with a broad brush. I don't. Because I do think this is an insanely passionate and for the most part, understands basketball fan base. But that's where this... And I firmly believe it's a vocal minority that's turned on House.
And I do think that there's a difference between, taking the criticism as a starter, as a star player, and then the way people want to break down Jalen House. I do think some people go past that. And I think, like, today, when you put it out there and you start challenging that narrative, I bet that the majority will be on the side of Jalen House. But I think for some people, instead of just being able to look at, say he had a bad game, this or that, it's, well, this is who he is as a player. This is what he does on the court. What do you expect? Like, sometimes shooters have bad nights. Doesn't make you a selfish basketball player.
Yep.
Doesn't mean you're not playing within the system.
Didn't make shots. Yep. Lenny, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. First, before I get to NFL, I'm going to agree with JJ. Let the coach sue New Mexico State, spend the money so he loses his case and he can go back and coach in JUCO. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
And we go to the NFL. Hats off to KC. You can't use any excuse about the call at the end of the game or anything because you went against the supposed Vodka defense, which I thought Philly would handle them. They had a 10-point lead at halftime. The fumble hurt him. The 65-yard punt return hurt him. So it was no single play. But I don't know what the NFL was thinking with the surface of the field, how bad it was.
Well, I don't know if it was
for your biggest game.
Yeah, they trusted people who were supposedly experts, and those people failed.
Yeah, they failed miserably in the biggest game of the year. But hats off to Casey. Even hats off to Jalen Hurts. 4 touchdowns in the Super Bowl.
Yep. Losing
shows what kind of quarterback he's going to be. But Mahomes retires right now. He's a top 3 quarterback. Andy Reid's a top 2 coach.
Okay, I don't argue
right
with
behind
that.
Belichick.
I don't argue with that. I don't know if I'd put Mahomes top 3 if he retired now. And again, I had this conversation.
I'm just actually top 3 for the 5-year window.
All right, I'll give you that.
That he's done.
Yeah, pick out 5-year windows and sure. Well, you know what? And it falls into the Gale Sayers
like
category.
When Terrell Davis went to the Hall of Fame based on a 6-year career.
Yeah, so did Gale Sayers.
Right. So, in a 5-year window, not too many quarterbacks have accomplished what he's done.
I think that's 100% right. Yes. Yeah,
So,
that's right. Okay.
Either one, Andy Reid doesn't have to come back next year if he wants. He can go off into the sunset. But now it starts getting interesting tomorrow when the Raiders cut Derek Carr.
Yep.
And Derek Carr is sticking it to him because he knows that the $40 million in guarantees he'll get if he stays with them tomorrow, he's going to be the number 1 free agent out there because very few teams want to deal with the headache known as Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I don't even know. Well, first of all, he's not a free agent, so you don't have to give up anything to get Derek Carr once he becomes a free agent.
But I mean, someone's going to trade Derek Carr. You can just sign tomorrow, not even wait for free agency to begin.
That's correct.
I'm still hoping that's what the Jets do, but, does he go to New Orleans? He's in the driver's seat right now, and he's in a very good advantage.
And he knows it.
And why are the Raiders letting him go and thinking someone like Garoppolo is going to be better?
That's a great question. Because if you think Jim Garoppolo is better than Derek Carr, I think you're high. I just do.
You're very high. You're off in another time zone.
Yeah. All right, man.
Derek Carr is an underappreciated quarterback. Underappreciated quarterback.
Yeah.
You put him with the right team, and he's a good for 42 to 4,500 yards and 30 to 35 touchdowns. So he's in the driver's seat, and we'll see what happens. So you guys have a good weekend. If Mahomes wins next year, I guess he can go to Disneyland in Japan.
Yeah, I'm going to Disneyland, Japan. That's right. All right, man.
You know, that's a good place to been to.
I'll see you later.
All right.
I'm going to Disney, Japan. What Disneyland? Just lay off 7,000 employees, or Disney, but they put a couple spots on Super Bowl, didn't they? Yeah, that's all right. If Mahomes retired now, and I'm going to go back to what I said yesterday. I had this conversation with a few people yesterday. Well, it's too early to make Mahomes one of the greatest ever. I agree with that. But I can still think, or you can, that he's the best you've ever seen. And I will firmly contend there's a difference between that guy's the best I've ever seen and he's the greatest of all times, right? Greatest of all time is going to have some longevity to it. The numbers that Brady's got behind him, won 7 Super Bowls, everything Brady did over 20-something years. But you can then say, yeah, but that dude I'm watching right now, I've never seen anybody better than that. To me, there's a big difference between the best and the greatest of all time.
There's a lot of greats. There is. There's a lot of what-if stories.
Yep.
Been out there. Like, oh, man, if this guy would have been healthy or if he would have got this chance.
Who's the greatest?
This is a dude that's on a path to push Tom Brady, and it's real.
See, and it is real, but I'm always so careful, right? How many times have we said, this guy's the next Tiger Woods? How many? Jordan Spieth won a bunch of majors in a row. Oh, here he comes. Rory won a bunch in a row. Here comes John Rahm, right? And none of them are. And you could tell me it's a totally different game, and you'd be right.
We also have 5 years where they've
real
been
fair
one
sample
win
size
away from playing in the Super Bowl, and they played in 3 of them.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm always real cautious. But to me, this is the closest. Yeah, I'm cautious. Who's the greatest running back of all time? Who's considered that? Is it Jim Brown? Is it? I mean, who? I don't. Right? There isn't a consensus. Barry Sanders is as good as anybody I ever saw, and he's never in that conversation because he cut his career short. I heard Gale Sayers was that good. I think he played 7 years. I never saw Gale Sayers play, but I mean, I've seen the highlights. I heard he was unbelievable. Right? So to me, there's a difference between the greatest of all times, because that's longevity, championships, all those things he put together, and the best I ever saw. Because I'll tell you what, I saw Marino play a little bit. Marino is a guy that's never mentioned in the GOAT conversation, never mentioned in those, Elway, Favre, Rodgers, Brady, Montana.
But he can be in the greatest.
I'll tell you, or the best. Yeah, he was terrific. Now they didn't win, so he can't be the greatest of all time.
Yeah,
but he was freaking good.
And I think that's actually a really good way to frame it, because you have the resumes, championships, longevity versus guy like Charles Barkley would be like a name like that, right?
Karl Malone.
Yeah, players that have tremendous careers on the championships. So how are we supposed to talk about them? They always get lost.
We talk about the greatest big men in NBA all the time, right? Russell, Kareem, Chamberlain, Hakeem, Olajuwon, right? And Shaq. Patrick Ewing was really good. But you know what he never did? Won a championship. So we never have the conversation. Patrick Ewing never gets put in that conversation. Now, maybe, and I would argue with you that those guys were all better than Patrick Ewing, right? Although he was great. But Shaq won a bunch. Olajuwon won a bunch. Russell won more than a bunch. Chamberlain, I think, won 1. But he had every freaking scoring mark ever, right? But the championship thing, so to me, there's a difference. You probably need to be a champion and maybe even a multi-champion to be in those greatest of all time conversations, the Jordans, the LeBrons, the Kobes, pick it, pick your sport, right? Montana, Brady. But then there's this conversation of the best. I mean, Tony Gwynn, again, I'll go back to Tony Gwynn. He was the best baseball players I've ever seen. He never won a World Series. Don Mattingly was an unbelievable hitter. Wade Boggs was insane. Ted Williams was one of the greatest hitters of all time, never got to the World Series. Well, I don't think he ever – I know he never won a World Series. Right? So to me, there's a difference. But what we're seeing, according to what Lenny just said, is Mahomes, if he retires now, would he be one of the greatest of all times? You can tell me he had one of the best 5-year stretches ever. Maybe not, maybe the best. I think he's going to have to do a little bit more to be one of the greats of all times. What says you on Valentine's Day? How you feeling? Happy Valentine's Day. Beautiful, snowy, chilly, white day. Go out and enjoy it. We're going to talk some football, more NFL stuff. Lobos in Wyoming tonight. It's a big, big game.
10.5-point favorites right now.
It's a lot of points for a team that's lost 3 in a row. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
A great paying career with benefits starts here as an
Nelson, he's got 3 fouls, so he doesn't really want to be getting the ball.
The dagger. That's
Gomez!
Inside. Hostile gives it up. Shot is up. Oh!
Ball goes inside to Duke, guarded by Trujillo. Eli with the tip and the finish.
Schermerhorn on the drive. Yes, strong. Fit.
She's going to got numbers.
1 second. She slips it in just a...
Still some time. Montoya, plenty of room. Yes. Wide open long ball for Jason Montoya.
One against the screen. Ball fake, but rejected. Ooh. Rejects it.
Quickly, or if they hold for the final. Wyckoff, yes, count the basket. A chance at a 3-point play for Wyckoff, and a free throw is coming up.
Catch and shoot.
D-Hill, give it to the hot hand. Why not?
We're happy for the boys, and oh boy.
Coach.
I guess they knew about it.
One more.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Marie Castillo, and J.J. Bond.
All right, you correct me as you always do. Wilt won 2 titles. You're right. 67 with the 76ers, then finally with the Lakers in 73. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Jerry's in for A. Marie, and Adrian's producing on ProView Networks. Good morning to you. Little football news to get you started on a Super Tuesday. Is that right? Can that even be? Colts have hired a coach. Shane Steichen is their head coach. Who is Shane Steichen, says you? He is the guy who was the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl and all season long. Colts are 4-12-1, and this completes his rise from quality control coach 2015. Now one of the 32 coaches in the National Football League. They'll introduce him later today. So they're striking where it's hot. They go to the hot team. They went. He's the guy that kind of made Jalen Hurts, and so there's the new head coach. Eric Bieniemy's interviewing today. Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator with the Chiefs, interviewing with the Commanders. Why is he looking at other offensive coordinator jobs? Is it time for him to get out there? Like, I guess I'm missing this.
It could also, be a sign that he's ready for his own thing, because he's never going to get the credit being in Kansas City, even with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid talking him up. And if you go to the Commanders, it's not, hey, I'm coaching out of Ron Rivera's playbook. It's the Eric Bieniemy playbook, who he's calling every single offense.
So just kind of up his profile, because he's not getting a head coaching job, and now he can go there and say, look, it's me. And if he turns something around there with Tyler Heineke or whoever, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because
if you're on that staff right now, everyone would say you'd be crazy to leave. You have Patrick Mahomes. You're in a great spot. But I get it. You could be like, hey, guys, I'm a part of this. And they're like, no, you're really not. It's Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. And you're like, okay.
as much as he probably is. Hey, Jerry, got another text, or I'm sorry, another email from Budapest, and it says Budapest is in Hungary. Bucharest is in Romania.
Right, yeah.
He says, I'm a visiting professor at the Hungarian University of Sport Science. By the way, he says, I'm rocking my New Mexico Bowl ski hat everywhere. God bless you. Oh, Barnesy, huh? All right. So, yeah, I was like, when you said Romania, I'm like, okay, well, you probably know. You said it with such conviction. I thought it was Hungary. I'm pretty sure my mom
That's a radio trick. Just act like you know what you're talking about.
Right? It's like it's kind of a life trick. Just
and I also said good morning or good day in Croatian.
Pass it off as Romanian for being Hungarian.
Sure,
so you're just full of crap.
Pretty much, yeah.
I was like, Budapest. My mom was in a hospital there for 10 days, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was Hungary. And then you said Romania, and I'm like,
Hungary.
No, I'm pretty sure
Hungarian.
But I didn't want to do that to you.
That's okay.
But JB's listening there, obviously listening online. Barnesy, the Lobos play tonight. They play Wyoming at the Pit. It's Valentine's Day. Take care of yourself on Valentine's Day, by the way. Text line 505-246-0610. OD in the AM. I know we're all waiting on the announcement that NMSU is cleaning house with the coaching staff, but what are your thoughts on how this will affect Mario? What is his responsibility here? Will we see the athletic director go? I honestly don't know. And I know there's a lot of the status of the athletic director down there has been the talk of so many people. You know, Mario is really liked by Mexico State fans, and Mario's done if you go just look at fiscally and competitively, he's done a heck of a job since he's been the athletic director at his alma mater, right? They win conference championships. Volleyball's been strong, and they've had obviously the runs of men's basketball until this. He did hire Jans. He did hire Paul Weir, which worked for a year, right? He got him where they wanted to go that year. He did hire Jerry Kill. He's got, women's soccer going theoretically. I think most Aggie fan feels with the limited resources that they've got, they feel that Mario's been really good at raising funds. Is he vocal enough? Is he visual enough? Isn't the right word? Is he seen enough in Santa Fe? I've heard some of that. I don't know. Where does this go? There's been some criticism in I've heard a lot of this of where's Mario been in front of both of these scandals. With the shooting, nobody showed up until the Wednesday after to talk. There's still not been a press conference. And my response is, what do you want them to say? But
even if
by the same token you need somebody to lead,
you're showing that there's leadership responsibility. And this all changes if
he knew.
Stuff was known before this came out.
Yeah, if he
then
knew,
there's no, hey, look at this program, look at that program, peace out.
Yeah, and if Mario knew, so to the texter, look, I think Mario obviously has passion for that place. It's his alma mater. I think Mario has done that. That's a hard job, JJ. That is a hard job. They are under-resourced. They are, it's a small market. There's not a big donor base. There's not a big corporate base in Las Cruces to try to draw from. It is. It's, all those things are right. And from what I understand, and I've heard all kinds of conflicting numbers, but they do get less in state money than UNM does. And they've been competitive, and they did lead them into Conference USA. Now you could say, well, Conference USA had nowhere to go. Okay. He led them through this independent thing. But so to the texter, I don't know. I honestly don't know. And I'm not going to sit here and say what he should go or he should stay. My gut tells me he's going to get through this, but I don't know that for sure. Because JJ really comes to your point. What did he know?
It comes down to what was known, when was it known, who was not handling it, and that changes everything. Because at that point in time, you can't look at the goodwill and this is a hard job. No, you have a responsibility as athletic director. Even when you say, "Hey, I hire these coaches to handle things," if something comes to your desk and you don't address it,
right? If it came to his attention and it went on, he's got a real problem. What should the athletic director know? Because I heard a lot of this is going on. Well, if it's going on off campus, how should the coach know? And how you can't know everything that's going on. I mean, the coaches are pretty in tune. This is, I remember, and this is Rick Pitino, right? When the Louisville thing went down, right? With the paid help for the recruits at Louisville, and by every mention, I mean, he knows everything that's going on with his program, but somehow he didn't know that these young ladies were being paid in the recruiting process. Come on.
Well, you're not going to say,
Right. Well, coaches tend to know everything about their program. When this came down on Friday, I was hearing, well, I mean, how can hire know everything? And if it's going on off campus, now we're hearing it happen in the locker room. It was happening on road trips. It was happening regularly. I've heard all kinds of other stories, and I just, a lot of it, I just don't want to believe. If it's happening in the locker room, I mean, should the AD know? Should the coach know? The AD's not there every day in the locker room. I guess
if sources are saying this is happening, then guess who would also hear those sources?
Well,
an athletic director.
Yeah, no doubt. So really, to your question, I don't know, and I'm not a big fan of sitting here and just saying I don't know, but I'm not going to sit here and speculate on a man's job and his future when I just don't know the details. Now, if it comes out where Mario knew and if for somehow he knew for a couple months, or I mean, I don't know, what's the cutoff? If
at
he knew,
any point at this,
well, I mean,
with the allegations that are out there,
yeah, beat this thing down to the studs. I would rip it down to the studs now. I would figure out the athletic director situation right away, right? And let's go. But I think it's going to be a minute. Who are you bringing in? You bringing in an established guy? Well, you can't pay an established guy, right? You can't bring. You're bringing in someone who's been there but kind of has had a slip from grace. Well, then you're bringing in a character issue again. Like, what are you doing, right?
And
I don't even know what the right hire is here. Is it Marvin Menzies? Do you try to get Marvin back from Kansas City?
Why the heck not? Like someone you trust. That's because at some point in time it's going to bite you. Being second chance you is going to get you.
Well, it's here. Yeah, it's bit you. So I don't know where you go. Do you go back and see if Marvin Menzies can redo this? Does he want to? I mean, does he want to come back here? Right? I don't know what he's making at Kansas City. But you're going to have to pay a little bit for somebody to come in here that you trust that's going to do this the right way. And I think it's going to be a total rebuild. And it's going to have to be someone with a reputation, because you're going to ask young men and families to say, yeah, I'm going to send my kid to New Mexico State. And parents are going to look up New Mexico State, and this is all they're going to see. They're not going to see that they went to the round of 32 last year. They don't give a damn. They're going to see what happened in November in Albuquerque, and they're going to see this. And there's going to be parents who are just going, I'm not sending my kid there. So this is JJ. This is going to be a minute. But yeah, I do believe they play basketball next year. I do believe they play in Conference USA next year. But I believe it's ripped down to the studs and rebuilt. And I think that's going to take a second. And I told you yesterday, the people I really feel bad for, there's a lot of people. I mean, the victims, certainly, first and foremost, the victim or victims of this. I mean, my heart breaks for them. But there's a lot of people, and you guys both know them. You got a lot of Aggie friends. They're passionate about that program. I mean, are you an Aggie?
I'm an Aggie.
So, I mean, that's your alma mater. How do you feel about it?
Broke my heart. So I wasn't following them closely.
Right.
But
that's your alma mater.
But yeah. And I vastly prefer the basketball program over the football program. Right. And I like the football program too. And I just can't believe it. I mean, it just.
Yeah. No, and there's people who are passionate in for years. You're going to have to go back and rebuild your whole corporate base.
Yeah.
Your season ticket base.
Yeah.
You're going to have, and this is, when it comes about, the question about Mario there, I mean, you got to go back in the community and rebuild the trust.
Right now, frankly, I want to go get Jerry and Silver. I mean, it's almost.
Is that right?
I mean, I married a Lobo, so
so
I've got
kind
some
of
of
Jerry
it.
and Silver.
Yeah, so it's hard, but now I may want to go that direction.
Yeah, JJ, I'd love to hear Aggie fan on this, because you've been kind of quiet. Where are you? What is the direction? I think that, I mean, obviously, I don't know that anybody feels Greg Hire is going to be back, right? There's no way we're having a new coaching staff here, right? So now what? Where do you go? How do you go? How do you afford it? What do you afford? You can't go on the cheap. You can't. I mean, you're out of mulligans here. You got to find someone who's going to rebuild not only the program but the reputation of the program.
Yeah.
And this is to your point, man. I mean, this is kind of the pride of that university for a long, long time has been basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, Lou Henson, you go back to that and you got a lot of work here.
Yeah. Since I started there in 82, it's been basketball.
Yeah. 505-246-0610 is how to get here. Aggie fan, where are you? Would love to hear your thoughts on what's going on and what you're hearing and what you know and just how you feel about it, man. I mean, look, this is a program you love and you're passionate about. How you feeling? Business owners, you like free government money? I bet you do. Who doesn't? Listen up. The federal government's promised over $135 billion with a B dollars in tax refunds for small and medium-sized businesses who kept employees on payroll through COVID. Business owners are eligible for this employee retention credit even if you received PPP funds. RefundsPro.com specializes in cutting through the red tape for this government program, making qualifying quick and easy. Refunds Pro does all the heavy lifting. Most refunds are over $100,000. Could you use that money right about now? Yes, you could. There's no downside to apply. There's no fees unless you receive a refund. RefundsPro.com has helped hundreds of businesses qualify, and the best part is you don't have to pay a penny back to the government. It's as close as it gets to government money free. Free government money. There's a deadline, though, so visit RefundsPro.com and get started before it's too late. RefundsPro.com. That's RefundsPro.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
and act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420.
I mean, what do we expect? I mean, I expected them to be in the middle of the pack, maybe, but they outdid their expectancy. So I think that the fans should chill, let these guys finish out their season, and enjoy the ride, man. I mean, that's what I've been doing. I've been, there's sometimes they'll now call out players or whatever on social media, but I don't do it to that extent. I mean, I'm not going to call someone a bad player or anything like that, man. I mean, these guys come to play for the university, so if you're a Lobo fan, a diehard Lobo fan, you're not going to be doing that. Right. I know you get upset. You want them to be in the NCAA and the tournament and all that, but I mean, we got a chance to do that this year, but I think Patino's going to have some great seasons in the future, man. So, we got a good coach, we got good players. What else are you going to ask for?
All right, bud.
P16, we might make it this year. You never know.
Yep.
They might go on the roll and win.
Real good chance to make it. All right, man. Appreciate you. See you. This has been a fun season, man. This has been a fun season for Lobo basketball. It's been a fun season for a starved fan base. And I think most of you are kind of where he is, riding it out and having fun. Except for Maurice. He didn't want to play tonight. Everybody else should play tonight except for the Lobos. Maurice, do you want to answer this question, please? It says, JJ, I sure don't get this. It's a tough night for late hoops. Why couldn't Lobo basketball play Wyoming yesterday or tomorrow? Will you take this, please? Please.
Because their schedule told them they're playing tonight. And they released that schedule prior to the season. Everyone writes it down on their calendars. They book their flights and their hotel rooms.
Yeah, but JJ, they knew it was Valentine's Day. Why do they have to play? Why shouldn't everybody else play on Valentine's Day? Valentine's Day.
People love basketball. And you can say, Happy Valentine's Day. Here's a ticket to a basketball.
Exactly. Look, as you know, Maurice, television dictates this, and the league plays on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
And you can say,
they play
hey, we're going to go to that Denny's there on Gibson, and then go to the basketball game. It's going to be a beautiful
Get the early bird special.
And it's a chance for me to get out my cherry and silver teddy.
We'll check you out. Teddy bear?
Well, I was going to say the teddy
bear.
The
Please,
sure, yeah,
just
that
work
too.
with me. Just work with me.
That
Please,
too, yeah.
Please make it a teddy bear. please make it a teddy bear. All right. Bruce says, "OMG, how embarrassing was this, Jeff? Yesterday, a local television station, when talking about the future of Greg Dumpster hire, showed a video of Chris Jans on the early broadcast. It was corrected later. How could they let this happen, dude? This is what happens. I've told you this for years. Sports people in TV news." We used to get laughed at. You guys don't know anything, and news people think everything's about facts. And you got to be factual, and you got to be factual, and you do. And sports people are way more factual than news people. But if it becomes a sports story and you put a non-sports person on a sports story, what happened with NBC Sports over the week or NBC News over the weekend happens. Whatever. New Mexico State. Who gives a crap? And they show pictures of New Mexico players when talking about New Mexico State. Oh, we'll just show whatever. There's a New Mexico State. It's got to be the same dude. Who cares? And if they make a mistake, oh, yeah, whatever. It has boggled my mind since the second I got into television news years ago. It's unbelievable to me. But if it's sports, it doesn't matter. When non-sports people do sports or sports-related stories, it's almost painful to watch. Why can sports guys and girls go out and do news stories and make it legitimate, but it's just sports? We don't need to know that. It has always pissed me off. You think I'm wrong?
No, there's a difference. And the crossover is not as seamless. Because you know what it is, Jeff? Everyone thinks it's easy.
Yes.
Everything sports is easy.
Oh, yeah.
Sports commentating, sports announcing, everything with sports is easy.
Promise you it's not. Hoser, what's up? You see House up close and personal. You got pretty good seats.
Yeah, no, I think I'm glad. I'm with you. I'm glad that he's on our team. I don't like the fact that there's a small select few that might feel that way. I just come to realize, when it's just not happening for the guy. I mean, it's just not happening. What are you going to do? But it does happen more for him more often than not. And I am sure glad that he's on the team. And I just worry, I don't like this type of talk because I kind of worry what it does to a young man. I mean, for him, I don't know him that well, but I can be a little close. But it just seems like, he's a guy that it might affect him. What people say. He might just if you're going to feel that way, well then I'm not going to be here or maybe want to move on, or even if he's got an opportunity. So for me, I don't like that, but I am sure glad that he's on the team. So
No doubt.
I'd rather have him on our team than somewhere else, and I can put up with the antics that he does, and really it's actually not that bad, and the guy can back it up.
What are the antics? His mouthpiece is out of his face like Steph Curry is, and he talks a little bit. What are the antics, man? Give me a guy who's passionate like that. I'll take 5 of those dudes. I will.
Yeah, I like that.
Right.
And I like that you're still working on your Spanish with La Casa.
Yeah.
And speaking of La Casa, do you guys enjoy the buffer intro with La Casa de los Lobos? I think that is the most.
Oh, at the pit?
That's my favorite part.
Yeah,
of
I
the
love
intro.
that they dug that out. Yeah, from the 90s. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
That is amazing.
All right, so you're
cool.
all about J
Have a good
Casa.
day.
See you. He likes the J Casa. See?
What do you think
No.
the perception is of Jalen House's field goal percentage? I'm talking about Mountain West play because this is where they've been up and
Will
down.
you tell me when we come back?
Or the way he plays
Yeah.
a shooting point guard. I'm wondering what would people think he'd be shooting?
All right. Let's get into that when we get back. Ed, we'll get to you as well. We're talking Lobo basketball and the Aggie situation as well. Local Hoops is front and center on the opening drive this morning. IPS is front and center of my house on a regular basis. They're parked right out in front every single day. They watch my home. They're not there because I got a problem. They're there because, well, they keep the problems away. Highly trained armed guards, 24-hour patrols. It is affordable private security because the bad guys are increasing numbers. The good guys' numbers are dwindling. And so years ago, I reached out to IPS, and Aaron Jones's company has protected my home. When I travel, they'll pick up newspapers and mail and packages, even roll the garbage cans to the curb and back on garbage day. Look, bad guys are on the increase. Don't let them destroy what you've worked so hard to build. Whether you're a homeowner, a business owner, both, I know you've seen IPS all around town. Why are there so many vehicles? Because what they do makes a difference. They keep the bad guys away and protect what you've worked so hard to build. Committed to our city and to your protection. It's International Protective Service. Call them. Talk to them about what they can do for you. The number is 897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com. This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports.
About this local basketball, one line's open at 505-246-0610. That's area code 505-246-0610. Lobos tonight against Wyoming. John Rothstein 8 minutes ago tweeted out that Jalen House is a game-time decision. I think we knew that. Ed, you want to talk about the Aggies? Thanks for holding. Good morning, Ed. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Hey, I'm a NMSU grad. I want to throw a name out there for potential head basketball coach. His name is Coach Byron Samuels. He happens to have been in the Albuquerque area for the last couple of years. He coached at Hampton for a couple of years back in 95 to 97, at Radford 2002 through 2006, and then he was most recently at Florida A&M 2014 through 2017. I know that he was affiliated with NBA China in some regard, and he gives a lot of his time to local high schools. He just happens to be in Albuquerque. He's a extremely high moral character guy, and he would be a great fit. Just tossing that name out, look him up, and he, I know, would be a terrific addition
Give
to
me the
the
name
NMSU
again.
coaching
Ed,
program.
Byron who? Byron
Samuels.
Samuels. Okay. All right, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Take care.
So let me give you this. Mike says, different take on NMSU, Chefaloo. Says, I hear folks saying, OMG, Aggies program starting from scratch. How's this different than any other year? When your program's built on mercenaries, NMSU's breaking in a new roster every season.
Not
really?
like this, man.
You
know that.
Really? Like, that's what I asked you during the break. I said, do people really believe some of the stuff they say? Like, what do you mean, how is this different than any other year? You coming off a year where you ceased operations, shut down mid-season.
It's different when players run out of eligibility.
Yeah.
Versus this.
Or even transfer portal. You're going to come off and if you think this thing's peaked, I think you're out of your mind. When you're making world news tonight, even if it's with your rivals' pictures, when you're making Fox News and CNN and you're on the A page of the paper, not the sports page, this is a whole lot different than just turning over your roster. This is going to be digging out of a problem. Somebody asked me earlier, is the NCAA going to come in with violations? I don't know. I don't know that I see that, but I don't know that that's completely out of the realm either. Jimmy, you want to talk about Jay Casso? What's up, Jimmy?
Yeah, I just want to talk about my boy House.
What's up?
Well, fans better get off the goddamn situation and get back on track. I've been a season ticket holder for almost 45, 50 years, football and basketball, okay?
Yeah.
And look at the situation right here. This guard, Dent, he's going to be good.
Yep.
But he's not in the same category as House.
Not yet.
Give him time to learn from him. But Mashburn and House, they work well together. They look at the rebounds he gets. Look at the goddamn steals he makes. Look at the energy he puts into the game, and that's what's missing. Sure, he's erratic sometimes, but that happens with most guys that are good. That's just the way guards are. They're shooting guards, and they're going to make some mistakes. But when he's not on the court, you right away he takes him out for a minute or two, and he starts seeing the team break down. He puts him back in, and we get back on.
Well, look what happened the other night. Look what happened the other night when you didn't have him. Yeah, you didn't have him the other night, Jimmy. What happened?
They just broke down. They didn't have anybody to lead them. No energy whatsoever. Plus, he's got 17, 18 points a game that he missed.
That's
you
correct.
got to remember all that. Sure, Dan gave you, 10, 15 points, but he's not in the same category yet.
Not yet.
He's in the learning process. Next year, when he gets fully involved with whomever he's playing with, then he'll be a better guard.
Right on, Jimmy. Appreciate you. Thanks, Jimmy.
You're welcome.
And you're getting 4.5 assists a game. Yeah, look, he's your point guard. He's your leader. I don't think he's your best player. I think Mashburn's your best player. But the energy he brings, the passion he brings, give me it. I want it every day. Those of you who are turned on him, I don't get it. Is he erratic? Yeah, he's erratic, dude. Yeah, he's erratic.
I think it's too, and that's
at times.
A fair conversation of hey, what do you want end of game situations? You know, he's still a creator off the dribble, so you don't want to just always put it in Mashburn's hand because then you want him to be able to be able to come off screens and hit those shots. And both these guys in this offense, they do go one-on-one. And looking at how good this team has been, I think that there's still, even at this point in the season, they can be better offensively because I think that they lack movement at times, and that's on the guards, but it's also on the bigs because this team, when they throw it inside, they get flat-footed and then just kind of sit there and stare at Udeze. Like, all right, what are you going to do?
Yeah, go do something.
Then he gets double-teamed and throws it out, and there's a scramble. So there's still this team can, even at this point in time, most of their traits are set in, and it's pretty much you are what you are at this point. But even with that experience, these players, they can get better. And having House on the court is going to give this team the best chance to be.
How many teams in this league do you think would like House? Just asking. Yeah. Everyone. Ruben, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you. Yeah, love the Lobos. I won't give up on them. I'll be there tonight. My question is, I have a problem against Air Force that I guess I hear they gave up, well, I saw the game, but 50 points in layups. I don't know if they were all layups, but, before that game, they had lost 6 games. My question to you guys is, was that the players' fault or Pitino's fault that they couldn't stop those layups?
Yes.
And, again, I like Pitino now, but what happened that they let so many layups happen? Thank you.
No, thanks, Ruben. I think the answer is yes. I think the coaching staff's got to take some of it, and the players got to eat it, right? I mean, look, they had already played him. It's not like they didn't know what was coming, right? Is part of it on Pitino? Yeah, because he's the coach and everything stops there. But were the players lazy? Were they they got schooled the other night? So the answer is yes. Don't you think it's on the players and on the coach?
Yes.
Well, both ways. But Air Force put on a clinic. That's why I came out of that game just scratching my head. Why doesn't everybody run that damn offense? I mean, when it runs and they're hitting shots, it was, damn, they look like Duke.
Duke is Duke.
Air Force is Duke. Yeah. Yeah, it was unbelievable. All right, 505-246-0610. You can keep them coming, Lobos, tonight against against Wyoming. Got some news coming out of Michigan State after the mass shooting on campus yesterday. Get you that. I do have some NFL news for you. There has been a head coach named this morning. We'll get you that when we return as well. If you're a business owner or work for a business owner, I got big news for you. Federal government's promised $135 billion in tax refunds for small and medium-sized businesses who kept employees on the payroll through the COVID pandemic. Even if you qualified for PPP funds, many business owners are eligible for the employee retention credit. How do you get this money? You go to RefundsPro.com. Refunds Pro specializes in cutting through the red tape to qualify for this government program. Refunds Pro makes it quick and easy. Get this. Most refunds are more than $100,000. Could your business use $100,000 right now? Yeah. There's a deadline. So visit RefundsPro.com. Get the process started before it's too late. You're probably wondering, what's the catch? There isn't one. It's a refund on your business taxes. This is not a loan that you have to pay back. Refunds Pro will help you through the qualifying steps. So go to refundspro.com and see if you qualify instantly. If they don't get you any money, there is no fee. Many business owners don't even know this program exists. Now you know. Don't wait. Visit refundspro.com. That's refundspro.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-24.
Lazar was the first player to transfer of the three who has so far announced they're transferring from New Mexico State's basketball program. Shahar Lazar was the Israeli player who is the one who in his Twitter post when he left said that the program does not align with his values. He spoke with Michelle Steele on ESPN. They aired it on SportsCenter yesterday. Coming up at 9 o'clock, you'll hear what he had to say. We're going to play that for you. And it's kind of the first person from inside, right, who has said anything. Is that right? I don't know that he said a whole lot, but he said enough.
He did.
So you're asking me on the text line. It's 505-246-0610. Jeff, what happens when a good character guy with no Division I experience has a losing record? I'm for opportunity, but the Aggies need to win now. What happens when a good character guy is that what he's talking about with this Byron Samuels? Is that a response to that?
Sounds like it.
Okay. Different texter. A high moral character guy would not be a good fit at New Mexico State. Going all the way back to Neil McCarthy days. At least they can always treasure those Dixie State wins from yesteryear forever. Boy, Lobo fans going to pile on and love this, huh? Was Marvin Menzies not considered I mean, look, they were always able to be second chance U in some respect because they had basically a junior college to enroll players in, right? You could get guys into New Mexico State where maybe you couldn't get them into other places. Did they take chances on second chance guys? Yeah, and I would argue with you that they had way more success than they had disappointments up until now.
It works when you have the foundation. And
obviously
the problem
Jams.
with this group is, all right, you had the school, you didn't have the same program. Because it was an entirely new team with new leadership. And it's different when you have Menzies setting the tone and then Chris Jans coming in and setting the tone. And this was not just, hey, new coach with this group. It was new coach with new everything. And Greg Heyer, it's easy, the second guessing, but he's been in situations under coach Larry Eustace, Greg Marshall, and it's like, okay.
All right, so he worked for Larry Eustace, and Greg Larry Eustace, Greg Marshall, and is there somebody else?
At LSU, is it Will Wade?
So how much do you put of that on him? Like, he was never the head of those snakes, right? Larry Eustace had his problems both at, even at Colorado State, right? He was run out of there. He was at
Southern Miss.
Southern Miss is where he was accused, and there were pictures of him partying with the college kids. Greg Marshall is accused of punching a player, and he got run out of Wichita State after all that success. Will Wade had the issues at LSU. So if you're an assistant on those staffs, should you be stained and not be able to get a job?
No, but that's more than just one.
No, it is.
Place for Greg Heyer.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Back to back to back.
I don't know where they go. And look, we're talking as if Greg Heyer's already been fired. I think we all agree. I think even Greg would agree. I don't know if they would tell you this publicly. That program probably needs to move on without him.
I don't think it's unfair to talk like Greg Heyer will not be coaching New Mexico State.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no way, right? And that probably happens today. But where do you go? All right, I promised you a little bit of NFL stuff when we came back. Colts have hired a coach. Indianapolis Colts have a new head football coach. It is Shane Steichen. He is the former now offensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles. He was in the Super Bowl, and he had a pretty good run there. The offensive resurgence over the past couple of seasons, he's basically credited with crafting the talents of Jalen Hurts. Hurts, Montana, and Young, the only players to account for 370 total yards and 4 touchdowns in a Super Bowl. It's pretty good company, right? Joe Montana, Steve Young, and Jalen Hurts, the only guys to amass 370 yards and 4 touchdowns in a Super Bowl. So there were reports that Jeff Saturday was the front runner for this job. There was no way, right? There was no way that was going to happen. So that went down in the NFL today. We're waiting for the Derek Carr stuff to happen. That'll probably be tomorrow. Meanwhile, this was news yesterday. Todd Downing becomes the passing game coordinator of the Jets. Who is Todd Downing? Well, he was the Titans offensive coordinator. He's got ties to Ryan Tannehill, but also has worked with Derek Carr. Does that mean Derek Carr may be more inclined to go to the Jets? So there's a little NFL stuff for you. All right, when we return, Shahar Lazar spoke publicly, the former Aggie now, on what happened. We'll let you hear some of that aired on ESPN. He spoke to Michelle Steele. That is coming up next. The number is 505-246-0610. Hey, thank you for being with us and remembering you listened to 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-5555. 2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
7 o'clock in the morning. 7 a.m. where have you been? 7 a.m. where is your brother?
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Castillo, and JJ Buck.
Well, we believe a Board of Regents meeting is underway at New Mexico State. It was called for 8 o'clock this morning. They got another one for 5 o'clock this afternoon, and obviously discussing what's going on with the basketball program. Is it? I gotta believe it's on the agenda, and we know it is. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Jerry's in for A. Marie, and Adrian's producing on ProView Networks on our visual medium. You can watch us on Comcast Channel 26. So, what's going to happen? We're kind of talking about moving forward, but in the immediate, what goes down? I think we'll get some answers today. JJ, 3 players have announced that they are transferring, and there's going to be, I think, a whole turnover over there. The first was Shahar Lazar. Shahar is a transfer, or well, he came in from Israel. He was in the Israeli military, and in his tweet when he announced his transfer into eligibility in the transfer portal, the biggest and probably most damning thing he said was, the program to which I initially committed does not, but basically meet my morals or whatever, right? I mean, my standards. All right, we're going to play you a clip. So Shahar was on ESPN Sports Center yesterday. He spoke with Michelle Steele of ESPN. To my knowledge, he is the first person associated with New Mexico State during this time frame who has spoken publicly, correct? I mean, have you seen anybody?
I haven't up into that.
The chancellor's put out a couple of releases, a couple of statements. The athletic director, the coach, no players, I don't believe have spoken. So this would be the first person who was in the program during the time. So we could play you a part of it. What you're going to hear is Shahar Lazar on a Zoom call with Michelle Steele. How would you describe the way, I want to paint the picture a little bit, the way Shahar looks while he's giving this interview?
Exhausted, like upset.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Like
insanely uncomfortable.
It's probably just sitting there like, how am I even involved in this? Like, how did it come to this?
Well, let's be real. He didn't have to do this.
Yeah.
So he was there voluntarily. What I see is a young man who's uncomfortable, who is anxious, who doesn't know what to say and what not to say, and trying to be very careful. Okay, is that fair?
Absolutely.
Okay,
but because there's things he can't say, obviously.
Well, no, but I'm trying to paint the picture of what he looks like.
For him to speak out, obviously, it's weighing on him, and he feels that somehow, some way, I need to be a voice in this.
All right, the piece is about 2.5 minutes long. We're going to play you a little less, about 50 seconds of it. So the voices you're going to hear, first voice is Shahar Lazar. This is courtesy of ESPN. This is Shahar Lazar speaking with ESPN's Michelle Steele. Hello. Can we start it again? If we can. Okay. And then it goes on and goes into what happened in Albuquerque and all this stuff. I don't know what you heard in there, JJ. Certainly, we're at a point of allegations, right? He pretty much validated that it happened. This is a guy that was on the team that was there. And when he said, my main concern is the guy that it happened to will be okay.
Yes. Pretty
Pretty much tells you it happened. Not that I think we're sitting here at this point with a whole lot of doubt. He was asked, were you there? And you could just see the, I can't really say at this point. Because obviously, look, this is that gang mentality, man. Every one of us wants to say, if I was there, I'd have stopped it. But would you have? Would you have? I mean, we all want to say I wouldn't have taken part in this. I would have done something about it. Would you have? We all want to say we would have. How easy is that? You're a freshman from Israel. These guys are running your team. Would you have? He was in the Israeli army. I mean, I'm sure he can defend himself fine if he got into something. But that's a tough situation.
Yeah, it's tough situations. But you can leave. You can tell someone.
There's a lot of things you can do. Yeah, and he probably is sick that he didn't.
Yeah, and that's where, man,
all I'm telling
even
you,
even if an allegations are, I know it's multiple players, and so if you're looking down to how many were on the side of forcing it, and then you're like, well, it's 1 versus 7, and am I going to go just in here and get destroyed?
Right.
Okay, but then does no one step up and do anything?
Look,
I mean, even
there's
just
a lot of
go to
questions.
someone that's where you just start trying to unravel this.
And that's that's another concerning piece. What if somebody did go to someone? This is where we're going to find out a lot. Did a player like this or somebody go to coaching staff or go to administration and say, hey, man, this is happening, and nothing was done about it? Because I think that's where it then gets taken to a different level. Every piece of it makes your stomach turn. Every piece of it makes you sick and angry. That's where it would go to another level. Travis, good morning.
Good morning, fellas.
What's up?
Wow, that sound is. I didn't see the interview. I'm going to go take a look. I'm going to go try to find it and listen to it. But man, that audio is tough to listen to.
Yeah, and it's tough to look at the young man doing it.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, it's tough to look at him while he's doing it because you can just see the pain.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to watch when I find it. But no, I think you're right. He essentially confirmed a lot of the stuff that was,
being alleged.
He confirmed, yeah. And that's, you're right. It just makes your stomach turn. I want to talk very quickly about, kind of a UNM situation, and then I want to turn back to the NMSU stuff. But I just want to say, at the beginning of the broadcast, Jeff, you called for Lobo fans who are tearing into Jalen House to come in today and air their grievances. You've been on the air for 2+ hours and nothing.
Well, it's been a lot of support for him, right? It's been a lot of support for him today. We've had a lot of calls and a lot of correspondence.
Yeah, and it seems like these cowards are happy to let their Twitter fingers do their talking for them, but they're not interested in coming in and having a real conversation about it. You guys aren't homers, and I think you guys do a great job of having honest dialogue about the warts and the wins of, the Lobo program. And these keyboard warriors can't come into a forum like that, then they're just ignorant and they're bad for the program. And if you think you're helping the Lobos by trying to run off one of the best players in conference, someone who was up for point guard of the year at one point, you're an idiot. There's no other way to say it. So, but going back to the NMSU situation, I think you guys are right. I think bringing back Menzies would be great for New Mexico State. I'll tell you, he's not just well liked in the Aggie community, but he's well liked in the Lobo community as well. I think we have a ton of respect for what he was able to accomplish there. And I do want to clarify something that I've seen, and I know you've seen, everyone's seen on social media, and even in the comments from people writing into the show yesterday. What's happening at NMSU is not an Aggie Lobo issue. Lobo fans aren't sitting here relishing the news coming out of NMSU. There's no schadenfreude. Like, Lobo fans are just as saddened and disgusted as Aggie fans are. You know, this isn't a fan base versus fan base issue. When the Aggies face the Lobos, yeah, that's an intense rivalry. But when the Aggies were playing Arkansas in the round of 32, Lobos were right there cheering and celebrating the success along with the rest of the Aggie fan base. But this isn't some kind of media story that's being blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
And this isn't some kind of opportunity for Lobos to pile on. And this is a really, really serious situation that affects every single person in New Mexico as New Mexicans, but most of all affects those young men who are at the center of this story, who were victims in this story.
Yeah, man.
So,
No, it's a good call. Appreciate you. I think most people understand what's going on here. I don't. We've gotten a few snarky emails or texts, but I don't think Lobo fan is relishing this or reveling in this. Do you?
No, not. I hope not, because it's not that.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, where the rivalry's been and with what happened in November, it's. Do you think Lobos and Aggies play twice next year?
Right now,
I think they play once.
I'm going to say no, and I know that since the incident that occurred in Albuquerque with Mike Peake, there's been a push to go one or none from a lot of people.
Yeah.
I still think this is a good 2-game series.
I like it too. But I think next year, if you're Richard and you're looking at it, if they're going through a total rebuild,
you can't do 2.
Do I want to do 2? Do I want 2 mid 200 RPI or net ranked team rebuild with everything that's happened? And do I want to go down there? I really don't. Yeah, I think you're coming up to see me, or we're not doing it. 505-246-0610. It's Valentine's Day. Keep them coming. All the love that you have today. I thought you were playing only love music.
I was
today.
just kidding.
Oh, I actually kind of liked that. I thought it was all love music today.
We'll come back with some love
Come
music.
on, Cupid.
Air supply coming on deck.
All the air supply you could do. On the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Start snuggle up on KMLA. Hold her close, hold her tight, hold her tight, hold her close. Valentine's Day, boys and girls. Hope you got it all figured out. If not, I got an idea for you coming up. It's opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Jerry, and Adrian. 505-246-0610. Just played you a clip from ESPN and courtesy of ESPN on that. Shahar Lazar, the former Aggie player who transferred out, first person that was within the program when this, we're seeing alleged incidents went down, but he pretty much confirmed it all happened and what he said. And where did he go? Regents met today, this morning. They're meeting again tonight. We should hear something out of there as far as moving forward and what they're doing down in New Mexico State at some point today. Rudy, you want to talk about it? Good morning.
Yeah, totally tragic. That's a horrible situation down in New Mexico State, and I really hope for their sake they can get it done. You know, we went through this not in the same thing, but when Lobogate happened, it, for all intents and purposes, shut the program down and had to reset. So I wish them the best. I mean, it's a rivalry, but I don't wish them that kind of ill will. So.
Okay.
That's just a really tough situation, and I don't see how, Greg Heyer can stay on there. I think with the chancellor leaving at the end of June, it's time for a total reset, and they need to find their moral compass. That's all I'm going to say, because the allegations are truly shocking. Yep. Remember that old 70s song? It went, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone?
Yep, I do.
That's Jalen House for some people. I've never been anything but a Jalen House fan. I think he's electric. I think he is the best point guard in the conference, and I think his absence Saturday wasn't the reason that they lost, but it was a big factor. And I just want him back on the court as soon as possible, healthy and smiling and playing basketball for the Lobos.
That's where most people are, man. Nobody's come on today and said House is a detriment. Now, JJ, and you've seen it, and I've seen it on social media. There's people that are thumbing it out. But I opened it up all day today, and every single correspondent, there's been a lot of correspondence on this today. And every speck of it is realizing what you got. You got a damn good player. Is he perfect? No, man. But I'll take a guy who gives a damn, who plays with that passion, who makes things happen. And every once in a while, yeah, is he out of control at times, or is there a little bit of erratic play to it? Yeah, that's kind of how it is with most of the good ones. There's a little bit of erratic. You know, JJ and I have had this conversation, and I've said this. I'd rather see the ball in Mashburn's hand in tight situations at the end of the game because I think he's more steady. But, man, this guy has won you way more games than he's been a detriment.
Absolutely. So, get well soon, Jalen, and we'll see you back on the court. And, there'll be over 13,000 Lobo fans tonight cheering that team on.
That's
so
right.
We got their back. They just need to start playing a little better defense, and we'll be okay.
All right, Rudolph. Happy Valentine's Day. See you. All right, 505-246-0610. Is this a bonus for Lobo fans, says Rod? So work with me because I had to read this a couple times to get with him on this analogy. It says, Jefferson, I used to work with a guy that had the hots for Christy Brinkley. He'd have given anything to hang out with her. He used to say that he would consider any extracurricular activity with her to be just a bonus. Since Lobo basketball was picked 5th, should Lobo fans consider any postseason, even the NIT, to be just a bonus at this state of the rebuild?
No, because it's not a rebuild. I don't buy that. The way college basketball functions, the way it works, you got 2-year windows. They established backcourt last year. They established front court this season. And not getting to the NCAA tournament would be a disappointment.
Okay. I think if you'd have said that in September, yeah, maybe. When they started 13-0, we're the last undefeated team in America, it completely reset the standards. Is this the first year or the second
because
year of a
we should not base a team's performance on
your
a preseason poll.
I agree with that.
Where we don't know what half these teams are going to look like.
So you say 2-year windows. Is this the first year or the second year of the 2-year window?
Second year.
So this is last year was the first year. Okay. Because you think this team completely flips next year? The big four, Mashburn and House, Udeze, and we know Udeze.
I think there's
Udeze and Allen. How many are back? Maybe
I think that if this team finishes strong, gets to the NCAA tournament, I think that could be a way that all three come back.
And that would be
for Jalen House and Jamal Mashburn, these guys are not playing in the NBA. But do they want G League? Are they looking at making professional money themselves? That's out there, but now it's NIL. And the deals that they have, are they comfortable enough with what they're making at the University of Mexico, where they see, hey, this isn't going to hinder what I could be moving forward, and that is the game changing.
Right.
Because we're not sitting here saying that, oh, you have to make money. Make money right now.
All right, so this needs to be explained. Because I think a lot of people are sitting back going, wait, I thought they were all gone. Okay, so Morris Udeze has used all of his eligibility. He's used his 5 years. Josiah Alec is a senior. He can opt into a COVID year. Jamal Mashburn is a junior. Jalen House is a senior who also can opt into a COVID year. Okay? So that's where the conversation comes from. And you're like, wait, I thought they were – no, that's where it is. So you've got a lot of stuff that, well, I don't know what can happen. They could all be gone. Up to 3 of them can come back. I don't know that I would expect all 3 of them to come back. But I mean, where are you on that? And I think that's a big piece.
Because if you brought all 3 back,
yeah,
Donovan Ditt sticks around. You attack the wing portion because you're going to have Webb and Applehans available, but they're still young players. So you get that. You could move Alec to the 5, get a stretch 4 wing player. Then okay, that window is extended. But still, right now for this team, I think that how they finish this season can sway how these guys feel about
100%.
running it back.
All right, big one tonight. They're at home in the pit. Valentine's Day, 8:00 start. You can go out and get your Denny's early early. No, you better not do Denny's, man. Nothing against Denny's. Nothing against it.
Hey, moon over my hammies.
Is that something there?
That's one of their. That's my favorite.
We were just having this conversation. I don't know the last time I ate at Denny's.
Well, they need to sponsor the show
again.
And then
nothing against Denny's. It's not on my route.
Village Inn,
Waffle House.
Oh man, the Waffle House on Central closed.
Really?
At Central and Tramway. Oh man,
Did it
my
close?
heart.
Really?
It did.
I guess.
And
it
of course,
did.
I can't remember the last time I went to that location. Is the one still open at the airport?
There's one right there by Fuddruckers at the airport, right?
Yeah,
right on
I
the
think
end.
so. I
Yeah.
think they're still. Well, I haven't been in that area for a while.
All right. Every restaurant's going to be Zooey tonight, by the way. Zooey.
The Waffle House, you'll be able to. They'll get you right in.
Will they?
Just yeah, sure. You and your special someone just snuggle up on the counter there.
I think that's a good idea.
Sure.
See how that does for you.
Hey, waffles. Oh yeah, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, let me know how that works. Hey, if you're still dealing with Valentine's Day, John Thomas Jewelers is open today. They are on the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building on Louisiana. It's 1 block south of Manal, just directly across the street east of Coronado Mall. They will take care of you if you're still dealing with your Valentine's Day issues. Like issues meaning I need a gift. I was in there the other day. This stuff is beautiful. They're the best jeweler in town. Like Period Bar None, they're in a different league. This isn't walk into some mall jeweler and pick something out of a case and you're going to be high pressured. This is custom jewelry. This is affordable custom jewelry. This is the best jeweler in Albuquerque, the only master IJO certified jeweler in Albuquerque. This is a different league. I am so impressed by what they do. Look, all their stuff is done here. That's why they're affordable custom jewelry. They don't send it out to LA or New York or Chicago or wherever. It's all done right there. And when you're ready to make your girlfriend your wife, when you're ready to take that step and make that transformation complete, go in and see John Thomas Jewelers. They will walk you through the process of picking and creating that special, unique, one-of-a-kind ring. They're the only store in Albuquerque that travels to Antwerp every year, the diamond capital of the world, to hand select their diamonds. They got the only 3D capable laser engraver in the state. This is a different league, boys and girls. Go see them. They're my jeweler. I love John Thomas Jewelers, and and she will too. John Thomas Jewelers, johnthomasjewelers.com, 3rd floor, Lewis University building on Louisiana, 1 block south of Banal. If you can dream it, they can make it.
The Jim Rome Show.
Tom Brady.
Nelson, he's got 3 fouls, so he doesn't really want to be getting the ball.
The dagger. That's
Gomez!
Inside.
Hostile gives it up. Shot is up. Oh! Ball goes inside to Duke, guarded by Trujillo. Eli with the tip and the finish. Schermerhorn on the drive. Yes, strong.
She's going to got numbers. Going to
1
make it.
second. She slips it in. Just a. Still some time. Montoya, plenty of room. Yes. Wide open long ball for Jason Montoya. Gets the screen, ball fake, but rejected. Oh, rejects it. Quickly, or if they hold for the final. Wyckoff, yes, count the basket. A chance at a 3-point play for Wyckoff, and a free throw is coming up.
Catch and shoot.
D. Hill, give it to the hot hand. Why not?
What happened to the boys? And oh boy.
I guess they knew about it. One more.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
Wait, there's no way to waffle? As often as I can. Next line telling me says if you hit the Waffle House before the Lobo game with your special someone, you'll definitely be able to hit a single section of the Lobo game. Right? You're probably right.
Yeah, follow it up with some John Thomas Jewelers, and maybe I'll be out of the doghouse. But yeah, I'm not.
John Thomas Jewelers will help with that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I wonder how many John Thomas Jewelers pairings with the Waffle House going down there.
I hope none.
I'm going to guess none. But, I mean, who knows?
You know?
All right, this texter wants to know, JJ, so per transfer, can Jamal Mashburn go to say his dad's alma mater, Kentucky, or is it a one-time transfer? So there's two answers. Well, actually, there's three. One is it's a one-time free transfer, okay? So he can not go and just transfer. Secondly, if he's graduated, he can have a second free transfer. As a graduate transfer, the concept there is he can go to a school as a graduate transfer if that school to which he is going offers a graduate program that is not offered at the school that he's leaving. So they find something, right? Yeah. Thirdly, he can transfer again for the right school, which he's not going to do. That all makes sense? So there's one free transfer before you graduate. If you graduate, you can transfer again immediately as a grad transfer.
Graduate early before you're eligible.
Right. Graduate academically. Right. It all makes sense. This one says, move Alec to a 5. Seriously, JJ? We didn't like that. If we move Alec to the 5, we get eaten alive in the paint. Pino needs a legit 6'10 plus guy in there next year. Let's hope he's recruited. Probably in this league, you need some size. If you look around the league, there's some size, right? But I've seen worse 5s around here than Alec.
Yeah. I think about him just as a defensive player, rebounder.
Okay.
And then so, more opportunities to spread out space for him at the 5. Next year thing.
Okay. All right. Go to the emails. Jeff at sports@WBQ.com. Richard says, I feel sorry for the NMSU cheerleaders and Sundancers, Jeff. Especially the ones who are expected to wrap up their eligibility next week with 3 home contests, including senior night versus Team Talk A Lot. All right. I feel bad for some other people before them, but okay. If you want to throw them into the concern, I'm down with that. Bill says on the Aggies, folks, the Aggies had several chances to nip this in the bud. 1, the first red flag, the fight at the Aggie football game. 2, the shooting at UNM. They only have themselves to blame for this mess. It says many heads need to roll, from the AD, head coach, and all the other coaches, and maybe some others. Totally embarrassing to the state and affecting UNM and UNM's athletic program. Do you think it affects UNM? I'm not sure. I think so. And you're going to tell me, well, see, they're showing them on NBC. I think that's kind of a mistake. But I mean, do you feel that?
Not on a national standpoint. Like, it affects people that are in it. Like, Lobo fans are upset. But I think it's still probably one of those things that if you're just Joe and Shirley X sitting in Virginia watching the
you don't know the difference. Yeah, you have no idea.
You're not immediately going, man, Monty Johnson, Jalen House, what?
Oh, that's right. Unless you're his family. All right, Jeff says he wouldn't take it, but past NBA coach James Borrego was here in Albuquerque coaching his 8th grade kids team. Not sure New Mexico State's an upgrade versus Albuquerque Academy 8th grade team. You can do that. You hit a home run. Robert Samuels was mentioned earlier. This is Samuels is a former basketball coach in Tennessee and other places. Hadn't coached for years. His daughter is here and oversees the suites at UNM. He's a great dude. Okay. All right. Look, there's a lot here. This one says, boy, I couldn't disagree with Travis more, Jeff. You better believe some Lobo fans are swimming around sensing Aggie blood in the water. So he's saying, Aggie or Lobo fans are loving it. There are Lobo fans who are loving it. All right. If that's your thing, that's fine. All right. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. We got a big game tonight. Lobos win. Do they cover tonight? They win tonight, right? They absolutely win tonight, right?
Yes.
Cover 10.5.
What's the Wyoming game log look like?
What do you mean? What are they got run out at Boise the other night? You don't think House is going to play, do you?
I don't.
Okay. I think they win by 7.
What the coach says his hamstring's hurting in a Monday press conference.
Yeah, I think they win by 7. That's where I am. I think they win by 7. But we'll see. Did you watch Texas Tech beat Texas last night, by the way?
Texas Tech is going to mess around and go from 0-8 in Big 12 play to first 4 in the NCAA tournament.
No, I don't think they're getting that far. But I
beating teams atop the Big 12.
They are beating everybody who comes in there. They're beating them. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Kyrie had his first game at home last night. He went for 36. Luka went for 33, and they lost. How's that going to work? Kyrie and Luka. Have you watched them at all play together?
A lot of points
between the two.
And then, you saw moments last night in Minnesota. They defended well, but they didn't even get a shot up at the end of the game.
Yeah,
like Luka passed Kyrie, bobbled it, and they're just like,
what
do we do?
Ball got loose, and
didn't even get a shot up.
Yeah, it ended up in Minnesota's hands, and they flipped it the other way. I watch it and I wonder. I sit around. I don't know that I think it's going to work, but we'll see because it's great stuff. All right, the numbers are in on Super Bowl. Third most watched in the history of the Super Bowl, 113 million viewers. Surprised that's what it was? It doesn't surprise me at all. And this doesn't include streaming, by the way. So it was 113 million people watching, according to the preliminary numbers. I guess it does include streaming. Yeah, it does. I don't know what I expected. I don't know where I expected it to land. The fact that games stay competitive always helps. Good games get better ratings than games that are over at halftime. And so, the fact that it went down to the end, that you had the Mahomes piece to it, that there's more people in the world, that everybody watches the Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't think this surprises me at all.
Not surprised.
Slight increase over last year, 112.3 million for the Rams and Bengals. That was an NBC Telemundo and Peacock deal. This year's digital feed had a Super Bowl record 7 million streams, which is an 18% increase, which means people are getting their stuff more and more. And we know this. How are you consuming it? You watch it over the air, over your provider, whatever it happens to be, or you streaming it. It is so streaming considered, if you are on YouTube TV or one of those services, is that considered streaming? I don't know how they monitor or how they measure that either. I really don't. But that's good. No, it's good numbers for the National Football League and good numbers. I think there's no surprise there. Other NFL stuff. Jim Caldwell, the former Colts head coach, joins the Panthers staff. He's putting together a hell of a staff over there, isn't he? Frank Reich. Jim Caldwell will be senior assistant on Frank Reich's staff. He'll help with offense, defense, and special teams. 68 years old, one of 9 candidates for the head coaching job, and he's going to get the job there. He's putting together a really, really nice staff. I find that a little bit intriguing if I'm Derek Carr. And you still think the Jets is the spot, huh? Does Derek Carr feel New York to you, though? Does he feel New York media to you?
Derek Carr feels like he probably just wants to get to the playoffs. And
I think that's right.
Whether it's the Jets, who were very competitive without a quarterback for most of the season.
Yep.
Whether it's a team in the NFC South, it's wide open. Like, I think that everyone's going to point to the NFC because they're like, oh, use your path. You don't have to play this guy. You don't have to play that guy.
Especially the NFC South.
Anyone in the NFC South makes sense.
Yeah.
From Carolina to Tampa Bay to New Orleans to Atlanta.
Yeah, all of it. I think Tampa Bay is the one that's kind of quiet because you just don't know what they're bringing back. But if I sit down and go, okay, I want to live in Tampa, that'd be cool. Do I like Todd Bowles? If you're going to put me in an offense that I'm starting with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, that's why I'm starting as my weapons. I kind of like that. Now, I love Garrett Wilson, the rookie. That will be second-year guy up with the Jets.
NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year.
100%. I really like him, but I don't know, lifestyle and to your point, path. The NFC South feels like the way to go. Now, we could sit here in 4 months and say, oh, the NFC South got really thick. But right now, the team who won the NFC South with Tom Brady had a losing record.